A game changer. An individual who alters the way things are done. They find ways to stand out with their actions and personality. Game changers switch things up and form new strategies and business plans to place them above the competition. Game changers do things differently, thus transforming the landscape. They are the heavy hitters, the risk takers, the creatives who are unafraid to try something new. And when the world turned upside down, they turned inward and got to work, creating new ways to present their music and their art to the world. That didn't mean they didn't face adversity. Game changers rise above it through financial challenges, health struggles, creative blocks. They rise and thrive. This is Black Widow. I am a house music recording artist, writer, and journalist. Join me on my Twitch channel at Danny aka Black Widow. We go live and have a conversation with these game-changing individuals. I wanted to talk to game changers, pick their brains, and find out how they stay creative through it all while handling their business, growing their brands, and creating things for us to consume and enjoy. Be sure to follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Danny aka Black Widow. Chosen few DJ and Chicago house music legend Mike Dunn has been DJing and producing music for over 20 years. Hailing from Inglewood, Chicago, Mike started out DJing at local block parties. Word soon spread about his talents, and he was booked for various clubs in and around Chicago. It wasn't long before Mike got the production bug, resulting in his first release in 1987. At the same time, he began producing and engineering for other Chicago artists. A jack of all trades, he has produced both house and hip-hop music. He is now known all around the world as The Truth, playing the sold-out shows with his music filling the airwaves. He joined the world-renowned Chosen Few DJs in 2012. 2020 was a year of incredible highs and lows for Mike Dunn. Professionally, he topped the charts all year long with a string of hits and instant classics. TrackSource named him one of the top 5 house music artists of the year. But personally, 2020 and the beginning of 2021 were, as he says, the hardest moments of his life. Today we speak with Mike about his incredible drive and ambition amid unimaginable heartbreak and loss. Today's game changer provides a lesson in strength, incredible character, dignity, and unconditional love. Join me for an intensely personal conversation with this game-changing DJ, producer, and artist, Mike Dunn. Yep, we good. I was gonna have my bar so you wouldn't talk about me, but I was like, forget it.
No, you did.
I
Come on, that's what makes it special. That's the bar.
Cali Red yet. Still ain't broke yet. So what's going on?
Hey, nothing much. Just chilling like a villain.
Well, I wanted, like I said, I'm doing a series called The Game Changers. And I'm talking to creatives just about how they came through 2020, how they were able to take it to the next level and actually thrive in spite of all the challenges. So I immediately thought of you just because you had quite a year, quite a 2020 filled with highs and lows. So I guess I'll start at the beginning. When all of this started happening, flights getting canceled, gigs getting canceled, what was your initial gut reaction?
OMG. Oh my God. What am I going to do? How am I going to maintain? A lot of things. basically, it was just, it was thinking about the financial end of it because that that's that's how I eat. That's how I live.
Right. Right.
Well, from not only the records but the DJing and the traveling and the European tours and the European festivals, things like that. So that's how I'm able to maintain throughout the winter.
Yeah.
So when that hit, and I knew it was coming, but I didn't know how bad it was going to be because I told a lot of people, and it hit right after I was supposed to do my birthday party, and in March, and me and partner at Renaissance, Reggie Corner, we was trying to get Louis for my birthday party, and then it just all started collapsing. Like it turned into a few little things, turned into a few deaths to this massive pandemic.
Right.
So it crushed us.
Yeah, and with all of your tours and travel gigs being canceled, how then do you kind of stop and say, well, I'm gonna start getting back in the studio making music? Did you have a moment where it was just like, I don't want to do nothing right now because I'm still trying to figure all this out? Did you have a moment where your creativity was just not there?
No, that happened like toward the end. I guess we'll get to that moment, I guess. But no, I was like, I'm a person that takes the bad and look at the good out of it. So my thing was, if this didn't happen, it wouldn't have set a lot of us down that probably need to be sat down and give our body some rest and things like that, because we continuously going. People that don't do the European travel or the US travel, they don't understand how much of a toll that takes on your body. Flights here, there, 8 hours on a plane, get off, wait 2 hours, get on another plane, hour and a half, get off that plane, drive another hour, 15, 20 minutes, get to the hotel, sleep a little bit, get up, DJ, next day, get on another plane, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I took out of it, this is time for me to get in the studio and get some records cut, and then also some time to replenish my body to get, like some of the ailments, you get older, you get, you know what I'm saying? You can't, man, and you know what I'm saying? You can't walk through the airport as fast as you used to. You can't, you taking your time. So, that's what I took from it. So I basically, bunkered down in the lab and started, finishing up some loose joints that I had. No pun intended. Loose joints isn't all over my face. My face. But just basically getting in the studio and just grinding out ideas and because when I'm in the studio, I'm a rat. So got in, making new drum kits, making drum sounds, making keyboard sounds. It's just basically tightening up for when we came out of it. Because when you come out of it, you should be ready. If you're trying to get ready after we've come out of it, it's too late.
Too late. Yeah.
So you plant your seeds now, and you know what I'm saying, you get through the harvest, and hopefully when you come out of it, decent.
Well, you had an incredible year musically, in 2020 where
Mhm.
you stayed on, Track Source charts, which is back to back hits. So was all of this stuff things you had done pre-pandemic that was just scheduled to come out, or a little bit of
Yeah,
both?
a little bit of both. Like I said, a lot of the few of the joints were already done. Some of the joints were almost done, and it was like I knew some of the stuff was coming out, and then some of the stuff it was like when Simon and Luke, Adrian, and Defected and Classic and Glitterbox. They would, Simon really liked the Stretch the Funky stuff. It was the other joint I had. I thought that one was going to be first, but Simon was like, I really like Stretch the Funky stuff, so we was getting that together. If I Can't Get Down was on an album that I did with my manager, Mark Potts, More About Music, and that was done. That song was 3-4 years old. It's just when I did the deal with Defected, they put remixes on it. And that's how the Moose T thing came about. And, all the, what I'm saying, all the other cats that did, Riva Star, everybody, Riva, if you're English, we say Riva, but it's Riva Star. That's my man. And so all those were done after. And those were done off of the Classic album, which was an album, like I said, that was on More About Music. And then Defected wanted to pick the album up, Classic, Luke Solomon. And, they just put all the right people in place, and they just, the machine over there is just, they, they get a lot of slack, and they get a lot of flack for, not flack for being defected, but, I've had no issues, it's been family 110% over there.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, what made you decide to take the leap into Twitch with your Friday Night Get Down?
Well, Terry, I should say Hunter, but everybody know when I say T or Terry. Terry was the one suggested, because we kept getting kicked off Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So at first we were all trying to do Facebook Live. And, every 15 minutes, you're trying to reboot. It's just like frustrating.
Yeah.
So the thing for us was, how are we going to get those people to move over and understand that Twitch is where we need to be, because they were a little more lenient to us DJing, even though Twitch is game-based, platform. You know what I'm saying? So how are we going to go over there? So Terry was talking about it, and then we was like, okay, we're going to try it out, make some, because we knew a couple other people that were doing it already over there.
Mm-hmm.
And, we, of course, try IG, that wasn't working. Facebook, that wasn't working. And Twitch seemed to be where it was. But our dilemma was trying to get the people to understand and come over there with us.
Right.
That was the hardest thing. Now everybody's a Twitch genius now. Oh, hey, you need to do it, and you can do this, and you can you can sub, and you can. Like, wow. You know what I'm saying? From not knowing and not wanting to go over there to now
being the expert.
Telling us right.
How to do y'all jobs.
Right. Hey, all the time.
When I was talking to David Morales, and we were talking about Twitch, and we were talking about the differences. Obviously once people started coming, DJs started coming out, every DJ started coming to Twitch. So what separated you guys, that I call game changers, was that you brought something different to the show. And yours was really in the production, in the visuals, and
Right.
giving people more than just, looking at you,
Camera, right, doing
Yeah.
right. So my thing, I mean, of course I'm not gonna talk to you sis like we don't know each other, but
Right.
you know how I am.
Yeah.
So, detail, specifics, all of that matters to me because I come from the school of, what I'm saying? I come from the school of Frankie Knuckles. So for me, for me, giving people more than just turning on a camera and you in your basement and you got the decks. I mean, that's cool for some people. I'm not knocking that. But for
Right.
me, what takes it to the next level and what people, that's like, I try to show people a different way that they can do things and be effective. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I look at the hip hop, because, that's instilled in my blood. So I come from, I look at the hip hop strings and I go, okay, this needs to be over into the house section because, most house stuff is just regular. You know what I'm saying? You turn it on, you send somebody put on it, you doing this. Well, how long are you going to sit there and look at that?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Eventually you're gonna get bored. Like, I'll come back and come back and see what I'm playing. And a lot of DJs didn't want to do the talking, especially on the house thing, because we don't do that in house parties. We don't get on the mic and be talking all day. Like, man, shut up, man. My joint on, man. Would you please shut up? That's house people.
Yeah, it is.
You talking over my song. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? So, but in order to keep in order to keep your viewers engaged, you had to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because and shout them out and do this and talk about this. So my stream is not only about me DJing. My stream also gives history lessons and knowledges about the songs that I'm playing and when it was played and how it was played, and where it was played.
Yeah.
And, who played it. And, just in case people don't know, like the younger crowd, the younger house people. When I say younger, I mean, been listening to the house 10, 15 years. That's but the older crowd knows. But I'm not only giving you a show with me just DJing. I'm giving you history lessons. I'm talking about things that matter. Talking about things that's going on in the world. Talking about relationships. So I'm making it a comfortable place to be. You don't want to turn off. You don't want to turn it off because you don't want to miss nothing.
Right. You want to stay a while.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So that was my whole thing. How do I keep them engaged and not get bored? Like, okay, click, and click. Okay. So the visual thing, I had my green screen and all that. I had it since I first started streaming. I was like, I just want to put it up. I had my banner. First I had the little thing, then I went to the candles, then I went to the banner. Then it's just, I always wanted to progress with the stream. I wanted to always do something different when they turn it on. It's something different because that's how I've always been. Like even with me DJing and so, it's what people see is an extension of me and my dedication to what I do. You know what I'm saying? I'll take 4 or 5 days getting my stream ready. The visual, to making sure everything's right. Like I said, I'm real tedious, real anal, retentive. I'm very into my details. So everything has to play. Okay, look. And I'll look at the stream and I'll go, okay, next week I got to change. Oh, that wasn't right. I got to change that. I got to move this over here, do that. So I'm very meticulous about, my visual, not only how I sound, but how I look. It's the whole presentation that people that, I'm gonna say a line from Do the Right Thing. Those who know, don't tell. And those who tell, don't know. You know what I'm saying? So
I do.
Right. So when you look,
you can see it. You can see, and I think that's been the difference with those who are very successful and have a steady, regular following who make sure that they tune in. You can tell the care and the preparation that goes into preparing a show. It's preparing a show. It's more than just getting up there and DJing, for the people, which is enough in itself.
It's a lot. So I mean, you would know because they just think you turn on the camera and start asking questions.
Yeah.
So you have to do your research. You have to go research. If you got somebody on that's got a movie coming out, you got to sit there and look at that movie. You got to write details and think, and you know what I'm saying? You got to come a different way than the next, you're going to ask a person the same stuff that another person asks. You just regular. So you want to be, you know what I'm saying? You want to be different about how you approach, your questions and your interviews and your whole nine. So they be like, oh, girl, man, you nice with it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So when you put in the, you know what I'm saying? This is what I tell people, when you put in the work, you know what I'm saying? You get the results that you know what I'm saying? Just put in, don't, and like I say, if I see somebody's stuff, I'm not hating on it. I'm going to take something out of that. I'm going to look, okay, why do people like that? Why is people on that? Why is people, okay, he's playing the same stuff. There's something else to that. I'm a learner. And I've always believed once a man that knows everything knows nothing. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm always learning. I want to continue to learn. I want to always fill this brain with, something every day. When I feel like when I know it all, then it's
that's one of the biggest lessons I took from you, even when we were working together. Like in the beginning, you would be like, you need to learn songwriting. You don't need to study X, Y, and Z. And you really kind of pushed me, that it was beyond writing poetry. Like you need to learn this craft.
The structure. Right.
Yeah, the structure.
Right. Yeah. So that's why I would always be on you like, Danny, okay, you can say this, but now I got to sit here and chop this up and make this seem like it's a song when you know what I'm saying? And coming from poetry, that's how you write as a poet. But then when you take that poetry and now you move it into a song, you started understanding that, okay, it has to be poetry, but it also has to be structured in a way that it makes sense when you hear it in a club. It ain't just like, okay, I said something, then I stop. Right. And then I said something else and then I started.
Right.
And then I said something else, then I stopped. It's like all is,
I need the chorus. I need the break.
Right,
I need the ad lib.
right,
all of those. Yeah.
right. So we all, you know what I'm saying? It's a learning process, but you know what I'm saying? You were determined and you know what I'm saying? You got it, you nailed it. Like, you know, I've always supported you, whether you did joints with me or somebody else. You know, I love, you know what I'm saying? The other joint, the love, you know what I'm saying? You know, right. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know my favorite line. Man, hey, look, I don't take it lightly. You know, I'll be in the middle of my stream like, hold on, y'all not hearing this.
And you put your spin on it too. I saw it a couple of times.
Right. And then I drop it out with, you know what I'm saying? But sorry about that. Go ahead.
No,
I'm sorry.
I love it. But I think that's one of the things that people love about how you play. You don't just take a song and play it. You'll put your flavor on a track and it's quick. You know, it's on the fly a lot of times. And people have seen that in the club, but we also been able to experience that on these streams. And I can tell you, you'll play stuff that hasn't come out yet, and I'll get, and they'll say, "Is that? Oh, what's this?" And you'll just kind of, you know, you'll give them something, and sometimes it'll come out, and sometimes it doesn't. Particularly the one song you did that came out in the heart of the quarantine, when you were talking about what you gonna do when they let us back out. And I was sitting up there, and I was like, "That's such a Mike thing to do, to capture exactly what we feeling right now and put it out there and get the people hungry for it, you know, get them ready for it."
And the reason that I didn't put out I'm sick, which was because I thought people would think that I did that song just for the pandemic. And that song was done almost 3 years before the pandemic, which is I'm sick, I've been infected with house music. You know what I'm saying? And it was talking about everything that we were going through now.
Wow.
And it's just so crazy how it was like, yo, I'm sick, I'm coughing, I'm I was all sweaty, but it was talking about how house music affects you in the club.
Right.
But it just so happened to be that the pandemic hit, and it's just, you know, and people still today, man, when you gonna put that out? 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 And it's like, man, you know, it was, you know, yeah.
It happens like that though. I talked to, who is it? Ursula Rucker, and she put out a song and it came out this year, but she wrote it 3 years ago. But the timing of the lyrics, and I was like, "You didn't write it in 2020?" And she was like, "No, it just happened to come out." I think when you talk about the timing of certain things, creators, it comes out when it needs to come out. That's what y'all used to tell me when I would fuss about when my record.
Man, when my record, the next one, we gotta get the next one going. And then it's a time and a place. I was like, look. You know what I'm saying? We got this, girl. Listen, I said, look, you know, because you can put out a great record and everybody misses it because you put it out at the wrong time. You know, and that's what we mean by timing is everything. That all the stars are aligned. You got the right record. You put it out at the right time. It's the right feeling. It's the right, you know, a lot of people just throw out records because they want them out.
Right.
And when you come from that school of, I say vinyl, when we used to have to wait, you know, 6 to 8 weeks to get the record back in order to put it in the stores, you know, everybody wasn't on top of each other with records.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if he did it 2 weeks after me, if he sent it to the record plant to get pressed 2 weeks after me, then I'm 2 weeks ahead of him. So I got 2 weeks before he started putting his record in the store. And then you still got to get the people to come to the store, get the record, and then play the record and start having people hear the record and for the record to take off. Now, you can make a record and, put it out on track source tomorrow if you wanted to, next week if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you get that, you know what I'm saying? You have to have so many, you know what I'm saying, so many people come through, that the records come and go. You know what I'm saying? The record, you know what I'm saying? The record will be good for 2 weeks and then it'll drop off. Record will be good for 3 weeks and then it'll drop off. It wasn't the time no more when it was, you know what I'm saying, the records were playing, we had, that record would play, be a jam for 3-4 months. Now it's 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
Because turnaround with putting music out is so quick. So, I mean, and then you have your favorites that you're going to always go to, your go-tos, but, it's far few in between with those.
Well, I want to pivot because, it's one thing to be creative and experience, certain levels of success in the middle of a pandemic, but you also personally went through some real trials that tested yourself. But I thought it was interesting. And actually, I was really surprised at how vulnerable you were with your audience, your fans, people who tune in every week. What was that like to go through and somewhat go through it publicly, in some ways? What was that like?
Well, I had to eventually, I felt like I had to eventually tell the people what I was going through, because everybody was hitting me or whispering, y'all don't know, on Twitch, to send a private messages, whispering on Twitter. So everybody's whispering, you all right? You okay? You look different. Some people, no, I'm cool, I'm straight, I'm telling you straight. And, they would see long breaks. They would see long, saying the unusual, not me going to the back, hitting my black break.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then they would see the extra long break. So they would just be trying to figure out. So eventually, after it happened, and then a couple people getting on my nerves on Twitch because they were, saying stuff, and I was shutting down. One time I almost blew a gasket and almost just japped out on it. It's like, man, y'all don't even know what people going through. I sit up here on this chat, y'all, woo, y'all don't even know how much, so I was saying stuff without saying stuff. And then when it happened, I needed some type of, I just needed some type of relief other than just the music. Music is my escape. But when it happened, I was, people really don't understand, like, and I used to always tell people this. I mean, I tell people this now. I'm doing it for no pat on the back. There, no pun intended. I was doing it because that was somebody I love. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to see a person go from all right to like WTF, like in a matter of 6 weeks. And I was just, man, it was that was the hardest thing I ever had to, thus far in my life, had to go through and had to deal with and had to process.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, they, and I'll just say they in general, wanted to put her in hospice and stuff. And I was just, no, that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, because 17, a little over 17 years ago, when I lost my studio down on Kinsey and whole nine, that was the only woman that was there for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I had to move back to my mom's house. She was making sure I was straight, making sure I had stuff to eat, making sure I had, you know what I'm saying, making sure I had a little money in my pocket, making sure, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, I had my blacks, I had my Red Bulls, I had just the little things. And that just went beyond, you know, anything that, you know what I'm saying, like, I mean, you know what I'm saying, we had our, you know what I'm saying, we had our things and our spats and that. But once we found out that she had cancer, which was almost 10 years ago, 9 years ago, I told her I was going to be there for her to the end. I wasn't going to break out. You know, a lot of cats run from it. Oh, I can't deal with that, bro. I can't, man. I can't deal. No. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't that type of man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and no matter what I was going through outside of the house or what I was dealing with outside of the house, I ain't let it come in the house and affect her and her and our relationship and the whole nine. So, you know, some people get it, some people don't get it. Some people, you know, like I said, it was the hardest thing, dude. It was the hardest thing I ever went through in my life because, man, from a person that taking care of themselves to now can't even change themselves, can't even wash themselves, can't even feed themselves, basically, can't even, you know what I'm saying? I had to do everything, and I had some preparation because I would bring my mom over to the house all the time, and I had to change her and wash her. So I had a little, you know, I said, Mom, man, you wait till I get 50 years old, I need to see you. Man, I ain't never seen you, man. I don't really want, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really want to be doing this, Mama. Like, but, you know, I'm just trying to be the good son. I'm trying to bring some light to it, some happiness to it. But with her, it was just like, man, it was, and people don't, you know, selfish people will think about themselves and the whole line and things like that. But I wasn't going to let nobody deter me or turn me away from making sure that she left her way in her own house, in her own bed. You know what I'm saying? With me taking care of her. You know what I'm saying? So that I would be even more effed up in the head if I'd have let it happen the other way.
Yeah.
Like, okay, y'all gonna take her. I can't do this. And no, I was like, you know, brothers and all them was like, man, Mike, it's a lot. I know, but I'm gonna do what I need to do as a man.
And that's what I think, like, people don't get it. To be able, because I've taken care of a relative, and that physically, mentally, emotionally, to watch somebody that you love gradually deteriorate. So to that in itself is enough. But to do that, be doing that, and coming back to your live stream, engaging with your audience, what's up, you know, and just acting like you haven't just done this. Like, how?
You know, I got to put on put on a happy face.
Right.
Then I'm,
And people don't
click.
get
Right.
that's a level of strength that a lot of people don't have, to be able to push through, entertain the people while you are dealing with something that is gradually breaking your heart, if I'm just being very honest. And I think it says a lot about you as a person, about your character, that you went through that and was still consistently, giving the people, their weekly show. But when she passed, I remember being shocked that you had a show right after that, and to see the support and the love that was shown to you, because we felt it. You know what I mean? We felt that. Even looking at it on a Twitch show, and I actually was very surprised, because I do know you and I know you're very private, very private. So I was very surprised that I know. But I was surprised that you allowed us into that very vulnerable moment. And I thought, I hope you felt the love that was expressed to you from us during that moment. But I just think to go through that for that many weeks and still put on the show.
I broke down and cried. Allie left the house, came over to the house. He was like, "Oh snap, Mike, I'm losing it on the stream." Because I started off with, Louis and the version of "If I Lose My Woman." So, and everybody started. Tear came over, Gershon came over, Wayne came over, all the fellas came over. You know what I'm saying? Roger, it's just all the support team, my guys, my friends came over and just held me together. Sherrod came over. It was just, and then, some people were feeling like why they wasn't over there and all that. See, you know what I'm saying? That's personal.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? Like now you're making it
about
you're making it about you. Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You ain't making it about me. And that's what I've been retooling now. Like, that's why, I've been, as Jill Scott said, I've been letting some old ideas go.
Amen.
Just making room for my life to grow. You get what I'm saying? I open up because I feel like, man, it's, talk to your people and let your people know what you're going through. It's,
it's a process.
It's 17, like I told people, it's 7, and then I come out to the parties and I want to DJ a little bit. But then people want to get all into what look, I just come out to DJ, bro. And come out to, it's just, I come to spend, I want to spend, I want to leave, all the extracurricular stuff, all that, man. Please, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it took a lot for me to come out, because everybody was wondering why I wasn't at Renaissance. And was like, okay, why is Gene there? And Mike, that's what I was doing. I was making sure that I told Reg, man, I can't, because if I'm in that party and she go, while I'm in that party, I would lose my mind, because that's me thinking about me and not thinking about her. So my whole focus, Danny, was to think about her and make sure she was straight and make it to the end. You know what I'm saying? She died holding my hand. It just took her last breath. Babe, boom. I could not believe it.
Yeah.
That was just the hardest thing to grasp. That, because we had got the news, they had told us this once before. It's not, and we got through it, and I'm cool. So, but this time it was the real, you know what I'm saying? It was the real deal.
But I asked you that specifically because so many of us this year suffered a lot of loss. You know what I mean? And I think how you have processed it, acknowledging it, sharing being vulnerable, talking to your people is very beneficial for others who are trying to understand how to grieve, and how to do it in a healthy way, if that makes sense. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to ask you, and I kind of go back. I don't know if you remember when I thought the world was over. I had gone through a breakup. Do you remember the pep talk you gave me outside of the promontory, you and Terry? When you borderline cussed me out and was like, do you know who you are? You better remember who you are. You got to keep it. You kind of, you're that big brother to me. Like, get it together. Look in the mirror and get it together. Like, I just,
because I
people
come
don't
from
know
a house.
that's how you are. Like, for real.
Right. Like, no, they just see they equate the things that they hear and don't really know the person, don't really know Mike Dunn, the person, don't know the genuineness of Mike Dunn and my heart. And I'll help anyone that I see is taking it serious. That's the school I come from. You know what I'm saying? But you got to show, you know what I'm saying? You got to Robin Nash. You got to show me love. You got to show me, and what I mean love is you got to show me that you got love for this for real. You know what I'm saying? What are you willing to lose? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you know what I'm saying? Like, we sacrifice time with our family. We sacrifice, you know what I'm saying,
rest.
Friends with rest. You know what I'm saying? We sacrifice so many, or having so many things to get to a certain point, to a person that just want to get on and talk about, you know what I'm saying, be mad because of what you've accomplished. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, that was like, always on when I used to be on Facebook, because I'm not on Facebook now. I on IG, and I send it over to Facebook. IG is a little more business for me, and it don't have all that riffraff and all that yada yada yada, chatter, woo woo. So I used to always post this on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to dim my light won't make yours shine no brighter.
That's right.
You dig what I'm saying? Like, but that's why that's why I did I See House People, and I did the intro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, what God has for me, no man or no woman can take it away. You dig what I'm saying? Like, dude, you yap. And a lot of people know that we really, it's not that we can't say nothing. It's just we just don't want to say nothing to the chitter chatter and all that. You know what I'm saying? I always said Ja Rule would have still been popping if he would have just shut his mouth.
Shut his mouth.
You know what I'm saying?
That was some of the best advice UNT ever gave me. Literally. You ain't got to respond to everything. You got to, and it has brought me peace. And
man, because what you're going to do is, you going to verify another person.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Yeah.
They say something to you, and then now you going to bring them up because they're going to be like, they is going with such and such, going at it with such and such, and they're going to be like, who is such and such? Oh, don't say that. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, you done made this person, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you want to talk to me? You got to come up here. I'm not going down there. You know what I'm saying? So when you get up there, then holler at me.
Then holler at me.
You dig? I'm all the way up.
Yeah.
You dig? I'm all the way up. So, look, I ain't got no time to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Elephants don't swat at flies. Elephants don't swat at flies. If flies be all on the elephant, they ain't even.
They unfazed.
Right. Elephant ain't thinking about the flies, man. Whatever, bro.
Well, I know you got to get out of here. I'll ask you one last question. Like, now that we are coming possibly out of this or opening up more, do you have a new approach to how you want to just live and create? What were the lessons that you learned about yourself going through the highs and the lows of 2020?
One, I haven't been in a studio yet because it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, that in my mind, just ain't in that space right now. I know eventually I'm gonna get there, but right now it's just I haven't been in a studio. I haven't been in a studio for real. It's just I ain't even touched my stuff really. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even been in that room. I did a few little things for some people that just little minute stuff I had to do. But for the most part, just getting in there and trying to create, it's like I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get my mind right. And you know, for the other, you know what I'm saying? What was the other thing you said?
As far as the plans, just how you, what were the lessons that you learned about you in 2020?
Just, you know, continue to be who you are. You know, of course, just for me, it was just, you know, I learned how to stream. I learned how to use cameras. I learned how to I learned how to do
all of those videos.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
But I call you Mike Scorsese.
Right. Man, I picked up a whole nother, I picked up learning, and I'm in love with that right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really love the whole visual, doing that stuff, putting that together. And, you know, I really want to start doing some really nice documentaries or something like that. That's what I really want to get into. You know, but
that's
you know what I'm saying?
I think it's interesting you say what you want to expand into, because I always say musicians and DJs, they're storytellers. So you're taking the storytelling to another level with the visuals. So I already know your skills. So.
You did. All day and day. Come on.
Whenever the time is right, you and I are gonna get back into the studio and make some more magic.
Man, you did. Man.
I love you to death, Mike. I love you to death.
I love you too, sir.
Big brother, mentor, all of those things. So, you know, just know we got you. We got you.
Man.
All day, every day. So I know you got to go, but this is what makes you a game changer. So thank you so much.
Look, you did. Friday night, get down. When we get there, so let's get there.
That's right.
I love you, sir.
All right, love you too. I'll talk to you later.
All right, y'all. Care. Peace, house people.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Game Changers. This is your girl, Black Widow. I thank you all for joining me. If you haven't hit the follow button, please follow me on Twitch so you can be advised of any new shows coming soon, and catch the replay on my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/The Black Widow. Take care, everybody. See you soon.